So, Jarome, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. It was a whirlwind experience, and you know, to be part of it was a tough game. It was a tough game. They were playing well, and you know, we found a way. That 5-on-3 was a huge turning point. It feels good to just come in and be a part of the wins. The team is rolling, and you can see how hard they're playing and how much fun everyone is having.
Forgive me for this, but just to go back to Wednesday, because I know on Coach's Corner Hot Stove all night we'll speculate as to what went down in that almost Republic of Doyle episode. The feeling is, Jarome, that Boston, Pittsburgh, LA all have offers on the table. The Pens and the Bruins is close, and there's this speculation out there that Sidney Crosby got on the phone and said, Jarome, as good as the Boston offer is, we need you, you belong here, and that's what turned the tide. Is that true?
Well, there's some truth to that. You know, I did hear that. You know, Sid, I didn't talk to him before, but you know, that he'd put in a good word, and you know, I really enjoyed playing with him there at the Olympics, getting a chance to meet him, and he's, you know, him and Gino are the two best players in the world, and it was tough. It was, you know, first of all, just moving. You know, leaving Calgary was not an easy decision, and but I think it was time for everyone, and good for the organization too. So, you know, I did have a decision. You know, as far as I knew, I got up early in that day, and Donnie called me and said that, you know, I was, you know, he talked to Jay and I was to stay home, and they were working on a deal. But then I didn't hear anything really, you know, I'd get just tidbits for a few hours, and I didn't really, until about 11 our time out west, was when I heard that the actual deal was done.
But just to be clear, so Sid and the Penguins are certainly courting you, and you know you've got either Krejci and Bergeron, two right-hand shots, or Malkin and Crosby, the two left-hand shots. Is this kind of like back to Yzerman versus Sakic, and you decide to go with the lefties?
Well, it's no, I didn't break it down that much, and you know, first of all, I was very humbled and very flattered that because you know, when you put in that. You know, when Donnie talks to Jay and says the different teams that I guess you're hoping to go to one of them, you're not sure if anyone's interested. You're not sure who's interested, if they want you to fit into their system. So I was very flattered after, you know, when Donnie did tell me that the teams that were putting in late bids, and it was hard. It was a very hard decision. I have friends in Boston, and it's a great organization and a great city, and all those teams are top organizations. So it was very tough, but in the end, you know, getting a chance to play here in Pittsburgh, and like I say, the way they're rolling, and to play on a team with Sid and Gino, and you know, as a forward, and it's pretty exciting.
Well, I know Don Meehan and I know Pat Morris, and they'd give you all the options. So let me just be clear. Did you say, Donnie, I'm going to Pittsburgh?
You know what? Yeah, I think, you know, yeah, you're pushing me pretty good here, Ron. No, but no, you know, it came down to wanted something that was fair, honestly fair for. I didn't with Calgary, and then Donnie came and told me that their offers were all in the same ballpark, and then I talked to Murray Edwards. You know, he was great, and Jay Feaster, and you know, I did say that obviously I liked all the teams, but I would really love to go to Pittsburgh.
All right, fair's fair on that. One last question. You're flying through Chicago into Pittsburgh last night, Jarome. Did you put on a song? Did you read a book? Were you by yourself? I mean, it was a time to reflect and a time to look ahead. What in the world was going through your head last night?
Oh, it was a different experience. I was stuck at the airport there in Calgary. We got delayed. I think might have been a couple hours. So our connector in Chicago, I didn't make it. So you know, the Penguins were great. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to be overnighting in Chicago or what, and as I'm waiting, you know, whether I'm actually going to get to play today. So you know, they were great, and they got a plane for the John from Pitt. So I was alone. It was a pretty surreal experience as far as coming into Pitt, and that's a new home. And also then my equipment didn't get here till right before the game, so I didn't know if I was going to play for sure again either. So it was pretty neat. It's something that it brings me back to my first ever game playing for Calgary, and being 19, it was being out there was. You can't prepare for it. It wasn't something I was like, okay, just focus, try and do this and that. But the first period was lots was going on. I felt like I was out in space a little bit, you know.
You sure found it in the second period, and it's a huge win for the Penguins, and you earned all those lucky breaks to get there today. Well done, Jarome.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for having me.